Mentorship Challenge with Mark Wayner Season 2. Changing lives, impacting communities, providing sustainable solutions. Brought to you by Redefine Properties. We're not landlords, we're people.
Welcome to the Mentorship Challenge with Mark Wayner. We want you to experience the life-changing effect of having a mentor. So go to mentorshipchallenge.co.za now to register as a mentee or take up the challenge of becoming a mentor and apply today. We're attending the 2019 Grad Star Awards and Expo in Johannesburg. This unique event recognizes the top 100 students from across the country based on leadership qualities and readiness for the workplace. This, of course, attracts the top employers, including Redefine Properties, who's here promoting the incredible learnership program. Go to redefine.co.za to check it out. Joining Mark today is the seasoned entrepreneur, Andile Kumalo.
Andile, thank you. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure is mine, Mark. Thank you.
Just for the benefit of the audience and our TV viewers, Andile is a chartered accountant. He was the former MD of Power 98.7. He was the Chief Operating Officer of MSG Africa, former member of the Takeover Regulation Panel, Competition Commission. You also, the one that excites me the most, is the founder of a business called I Am an Entrepreneur, which is really, for me, the most exciting. And finally, investment banker with Investec. They employ you, and you are in the corporate finance section, and quite exciting. You do some interesting deals there, and you're there for two and a bit years, and then you decide you want to follow your own dream, which was?
Well, at the time, I didn't quite know what it would be like. What I did know is that what I've always wanted to be, the passion I've always had since I was probably in high school, was to be an entrepreneur.
The first thing an entrepreneur has to do, besides the fact believe in himself, is sell yourself.
Absolutely.
You can't sell anything until you sell yourself.
Absolutely.
So you're always selling yourself.
Absolutely. So when I left Investec, the idea was to start a little business that I had an idea with at the time. And this was a little opportunity called a Fuel Master Express tag. So BP, the petroleum company, used to have these little keyring tags. It's got a long story short, I did a PowerPoint slide and I convinced BP that I was the best person to deliver Fuel Master Express tags across the country. Wherever their clients were, I would get there. So I taught myself how to do it. I came across a small business out in Kempton Park. It was a courier business, kind of small in size. They had a few motorbikes to deliver around Gauteng, and they had partnerships across the country, as they typically do back then. And I had a small bonus from Investec, so I took some of that money and I bought a big share in this tiny business. And then we won many other contracts. And then I got an offer from the family I had bought the equity stake from, because I'd obviously grown the business. And they made me an offer, and as you would know, you do your calculation, and if they hit the number, they hit the number, and they did.
And you're dreaming of what you're going to spend it on.
Yeah, you already spent it, in fact. You already spent it, but of course, I realized that it was not as much money as I thought it was.
So then you come now and you form I Am an Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
This is an online platform.
Yeah.
Please explain this, because this really appeals to me in terms of what we're trying to do.
Right. As I was going through the journey that you so succinctly put together, I had a lot of young people, many like the ones in the audience, would come to me and say, "Hey, Andile, won't you mentor me?" Exactly the reason you invited me today, and why it was so easy to come here. And I would say no. And the reason I would say no is because I totally appreciate what it takes to commit to a mentorship relationship. And I have for too long seen people say yes, and they don't fulfill it. So I thought, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a mass mentorship program, actually. This last Saturday, we were in Bloemfontein, for example. Our first session was a gentleman called Mark Keating, who runs a company called Sales Guru. He was teaching entrepreneurs the very thing you were talking about, selling yourself. Then we've got Google talking about digital marketing. Then we've got sponsors like FNB talking to entrepreneurs about how to raise the right funding for their businesses. And then we've kept the element of having guest entrepreneurs to share their story, because there's still a lack of the inspirational element, Mark. There's not too many budding entrepreneurs are not in front of established entrepreneurs often enough. So we create this platform where we can invite them. And now the room is not 100 people. Now the room is 200, 300 people.
What about lessons that you've learned?
Number one, it is not who you know, it's who knows you. So we all know people. I can rattle a couple of business people's names and we're all going to be like, yeah, I know him, I know him. Yes, of course we know them because they've really done well in life. But when you bump into Stephen Kosov and you say you're interviewing Andile Khubalo, I'm hoping he says, yes, I know who he is, and I'm hoping it's positive. So the impression you make on people, irrespective of who they are, from the sweeper in the office all the way to the CEO of the company, it stands you in good stead. I found myself in fortunate positions that actually had nothing to do with my ability or I did something amazing. Just the people having the desire to do something with me, because the way I treated them and the way I conducted myself was such that people wanted to be associated with me. And I think that's probably my biggest gift and my biggest lesson.
Fantastic lesson.
Lesson number 2 is to try by all means to do the things you're most passionate about. This entrepreneurship thing is very sexy when you look at it on TV, right? Steve Jobs and Jay-Z and Oprah Winfrey, and it looks so pretty. Everybody wants to be that. The truth is, it's really hard. And the people that I've just named are probably top 0.001 percentile. Most of us end up doing relatively well for ourselves and our families, but it's hard. It really is hard. And because it's hard, it's also quite easy to give up. So if you're doing something that you're not really passionate about, that you don't really enjoy, that doesn't make you want to get up in the morning, make a difference, and hopefully make money, then chances are you're not going to be able to see it through, because you're going to need the passion to encourage you when nothing else is encouraging you.
Okay, so we've got all of these people, these graduates going out into the world soon, people watching the show. What advice have you got for them? Somebody wants to go out and start a business.
If somebody wants to go out and start a business, I would say, number 1, please make sure you are solving a fundamental problem, right? Few things in that line, solving the problem. So whatever it is, must actually solve the problem. It mustn't make the problem look like it's kind of solved or kind of goes away. Don't put the lipstick on the pig, okay? Solve the problem. 2, a fundamental problem. What I mean by that is the more compelling the problem is, the more of a problem the problem is, the higher the chances that your solution, if it fixes the problem, is going to be really popular, and therefore you have a chance of a real business.
But but it doesn't mean you have to go and create a new product. It doesn't have to be revolutionary. You can take something and just improve it.
And in today's terms, I guess the only kind of sub-point I'll make to that, having found the solution of whatever the problem is, given where we are and given just the sheer impact of technology in everything that we do, make sure that you have a way of scaling this business in such a way that the technology allows it to become bigger than you.
Oh, sure. Look, the beauty of the internet and things today is I could be selling this from my garage at home and you wouldn't be aware of it.
Absolutely.
So, Ndili, it's been wonderful talking to you, hearing about your really remarkable career.
Thank you.
Okay. I wish you lots and lots of luck going forward. But before you go forward,
yes,
we didn't just bring you here for your good looks.
Oh, no, okay? Really?
No, really. So what we want you to do is we're challenging you to take on, there's no more no's like you had before.
Right.
So we want you to mentor some of the young people out there who are watching the show who would like to be mentored by you.
Okay.
So how many are you going to mentor for us?
I'm happy to mentor a young person.
A young person?
Yes.
A meaning 1?
Yeah.
There's not a chance. You're not getting away.
I didn't know this was a negotiation.
Audience, do you think we should accept 1? No. Not a chance. Come on. Up.
2.
2. 1 more. It doesn't have to be all together. 3.
3, I'll take it. You Mark Wayne, how can I say no to you?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But what we want you to do as well is give us the name of somebody that we can call and say, listen, Ndile's been our show. After a great deal of difficulty, we got him to give us 3. How many are you going to give us?
Aha, I see what you're saying. Okay, I've got someone.
Okay.
Do I have to say it on air?
Yeah, please.
Oh, wow. So his name is Musa Kalenga, right? Okay. So Musa is a partner of mine on my one other business. He's a techie. He's a technology whiz kid, and he runs a business called Bridge Labs. And he's also co-invested with me at the Brave Group, our advertising business. And he's an amazing young man. He gets what's happening in the world right now from a digital perspective. And I think he's got a lot to share with young minds out there.
Okay, so our production team is going to contact Musa. We're going to tell him that you challenged him.
Absolutely.
And that you believed he would give us at least 5.
Done.
Done. Thank you so much.
Thank
it's
you.
been a pleasure. As a token of my appreciation, a copy of my book.
Ah, lovely
Making My
stuff.
Mark.
Thank you so much.
And we would love now to take some questions from the audience.
Fascinating interview. What piece of advice did you wish you would have received when you went into entrepreneurship?
Cash is king.
Okay.
If somebody told me what that really meant, I think I'd have saved myself a lot of stress. We focus so much on my business must be profitable, right? And people even say, look, don't worry, if it's not profitable within the first 3 years, it's okay. The truth is the business must have cash. The business better make cash. It must generate more cash than it ships out. That's the bottom line here. And very often we kind of lose the simplicity of that. And also like, being a CA and being an investment banker, you start thinking that, all these models make sense. Actually, the only model that makes sense is, are you generating more money than the money that's leaving your bank account? That's actually
Profit is an accounting term.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Cash is reality.
Cash is reality.
Thank you for such an amazing
Thank
interview.
you.
If you think you have what it takes to be a mentor on the Mentorship Challenge, all you have to do is go to mentorshipchallenge.co.za and apply. Being a mentor will change your life.
Next week, Mark challenges the CEO of McDonald's South Africa, Greg Solomon. The Mentorship Challenge with Mark Wayner Season 2. Changing lives, impacting communities, providing sustainable solutions. Brought to you by Redefine Properties. We're not landlords, we're people.